Stay tuned, Fishing Ventures is next. Ronnie and friends chase Lake Elsinore's Big Four: bass, wipers, cats, and crappie. Mike Thompson's RV contest winners fish in style on a deluxe pontoon boat from Williams Bait, Tackle, and Boat Rentals. Lake Elsinore continues putting out trophy fish and is still one of California's best recreation destinations, with acres of camping, RVing, and boating opportunities, along with water sports, sky sports, off-roading, local entertainment galore, dining, lodging, and even a casino. You can bet the house that Lake Elsinore is your winning recreation destination. It's Lake Elsinore's Big Four and more on Ronnie Kovach's Fishing Ventures. Along the scenic shores of Lake Elsinore, there are over 7 facilities for boating, camping, and RVing. With hundreds of RV spaces to choose from, travel trailers to motorhomes, a Mike Thompson RV Superstore will have you covered.
Dave Rivera, this is really where it starts. This isn't your typical cabin tent or pup tent, is it?
No, you get off the ground, you get in an RV, you can pack up your fishing rods, your bait, and really get out to remote areas with the big tires on this thing, lightweight, very affordable.
Yeah, you can tow it with a smaller compact car or truck. And again, for you hunters out there, this is perfect for going into those remote areas and you want to bivouac a little bit rather than taking in a larger unit. This is really, really great. This is true tent camping at its finest.
Now we continue this episode highlighting Lake Elsinore's Big Four: fat bass, huge wiper, large cats, and world-class crappie, along with bonus footage of the first ever Dream Extreme Bass Tournament. Let's start with the smallest, toughest trophy fish in Lake Elsinore, the crappie. The crappie in Lake Elsinore are abundant and huge. Lake Elsinore is arguably the best crappie fishery in all of Southern California. Crappie are a favorite amongst freshwater anglers for their scrappiness and great taste. Now let's hear more about catching crappie from William Johnson, also known as the Crappie King.
Just want to give you a brief illustration of some of the techniques and some of the jigs that we use out here to catch these world famous slabs out here at Lake Elsinore. Any simple knot would do, tri-lane cinch knot would do, Palomar, whichever you choose. I suggest 2, 4, or 6 pound test line. I know a lot of you guys are frowning up at that 6, but we get the catfish, the largemouth, and the wipers hitting these crappie jigs, so you better be prepared. I use anything from a 32 ounce to a 16th to a 1/8 ounce jig here. This is one of my all-time favorites. This is a custom jig that I carry called Slab Jiggies. They have been busting the crappie wide open, guys. Also use a selection of Lunker Cities, Lake Forks, Old Chicken Foot. I've been doing really well with these as well. And I often use a white lead head with the black eyes, or the white lead head with the red eyes are very popular as well. I prefer using the stick bobbers. This is a Pucci balsa wood bobber. I prefer using these. They create less drag in the water versus your round float bobbers, but it's a matter of preference. A lot of fishermen make the mistake of using the bobber as an indicator to let you know when you're getting a strike. I fish totally different. I use the lead head, so it's important that you have a sensitive rod when you're out crappie fishing. So when that fish, when I'm bouncing my jig, is going through the water, I'm not concentrating on my bobber, I'm concentrating on my jig. So when that fish hits, you feel the strike before that bobber even moves. Very important. And keep working your bobber up, and you just pull back on the springs, and it goes up and down. Once you find the depth to where the fish are striking, do not move it. Just keep the bobber at that depth, and it will increase your productivity in catching crappie out here at Lake Elsinore. See right out in front of us, we have a lot of brush stick-ups. That's prime crappie habitat. They love it, especially in the summer months. They like to push up on these stick piles, brush piles, and feed, and sometimes just to get some shade cover. But to target them, you definitely want to use a bobber. You get anywhere close to the bottom, you're going to get hung up. Now, my rule of thumb is, though, if you're not getting hung up, you're not crappie fishing. But I have a really good casting system that some guys use it, some guys don't. But when you're on a boat and you're in tight quarters, I call it slingshotting. You just grab the tip of your jig head, arc back, point the rod in the direction you want to go, and flip it. Yeah, that's a pretty perfect cast. Right up on, next to that stick right there. But it's generally good, you know, when there's a lot of people on the boat, you don't want to overhand cast and get snagged.
Stay tuned. Catching big cats at Lake Elsinore up next.
Ronnie Kovach's Fishing Ventures is brought to you by P-Line, Because We Fish, Sports Chalet, The Experts, by Owner, Perfection in Hooks, Flambeau Tackle Storage Systems, by Yozuri Lures, Fish the Best, and by Typhoon Polarized Sunglasses.
Welcome back. You're watching Ronnie Kovach's Fishing Ventures, Lake Elsinore's Big Four and more on Fox Sports West. When visiting Lake Elsinore, there are many choices for recreating and RVing. When choosing a Mike Thompson RV, you may want one that can haul your toys.
You know, Dave, my concept of the old toy haulers was just a storage trailer that you dump your kayak, your canoe, your float tube, maybe your quad in, and that's it. A group of, let's say, 6, 7 hunters or fishermen can live in this with all your gear.
You bet you can, Ronnie. You've actually got 3 queen beds in this trailer.
And unbelievably affordable, folks, I'm telling you. And you've got memories that are going to be lasting you for a lifetime with you and your family. This baby just ripped.
Now back to catching cats with Ronnie Kovach.
Catfishing at Lake Elsinore can be absolutely awesome, and it's pretty simple. I start with the line first. I want to use the extra tough, extra strong P-Line CXX line, anywhere from 12 to 20 pound test. I like to use mackerel. In this case, the Bite-On Mac Bites, which are pre-soaked with the Bite-On Catfish attractant already pre-soaked in the container, or you can use the Bite-On Catfish attractant on things like night crawlers or shad or sardines or anchovies if you like. Owner hooks, definitely a couple different models of owner hooks we'll show you here in the video. A good strong pair of P-Line pliers, and I carry my little Poochie scale because many of the fish that you're going to catch here at Elsinore on these channel cats are going to be between an average of 4 to 12 pounds.
Catfishing can be excellent day and night at Lake Elsinore. Now here are some tips to catch these whisker fish you may not know about. When fishing for cats at Lake Elsinore, all the standard baits apply, such as cut mackerel, shrimp, chicken liver, shad, and even stink baits. Deciding where and how to present your bait can be a little different here at Lake Elsinore. The lake is relatively shallow and has many areas with rocky bottoms, along with other areas full of brush, cover, and sticks. Exactly where you want to fish. Believe it or not, it's a good idea to fish these shallow areas with a bobber. These cats are aggressive, and if your bait is resting on a pile of rocks or sticks, these cats will take your line right through them and break you off almost every time. Lake Elsinore cats will pursue and chase baits like no other bottom feeder. It's very common to catch them with live bait, crankbait, spinner baits, and even trolling lures. So hang on and enjoy the fishing.
Yeah.
We're using live shad, which is indigenous to the lake. One of the best catfish baits, not just in Lake Elsinore, anywhere for that matter. But you can see.
Look at the strength of this fish, folks.
He's digging deep.
Could have done this with 5 guys.
One more time, Ronnie. He's coming. Here he comes. Oh, I thought he was. He's not ready yet.
Get him in there. There you go. Hold him up there, William. That's your fish. All right.
I was basically using a bobber float technique, 2 foot of water. The bobber is very helpful from keeping it this. We got a lot of rocks back here from keeping that hook from getting stuck in the rocks. But these fish are just picking it up and just taking it away, as you can see out here at Lake Elsinore.
Oh, this baby just ripped it. Just ripped it. Just a bigger fish. Yeah, baby. Woo! Wow, look at that baby.
Yes.
That's what you got at Lake Elsinore, folks. Look at that. That little owner hook, that bite on, and a dead shad, boy, that really adds up to good fishing out here. On Ronnie Kovach's Fishing Ventures, compliments of William Johnson's wonderful guide service.
Up next, fishing the aggressive hybrid striper, aka the wiper. You're watching Fishing Ventures, Lake Elsinore's Big Four and more. When visiting one of Lake Elsinore's beautiful resorts and RV parks, you may want to camp in the simple comfort of a Mike Thompson travel trailer, or bring your family and jet skis in a toy hauler. Then again, you may just want to roll in style and stay a while.
This is what we're talking about, Dave, for those really extended stays, we want to say, particularly by that baby boomer generation that wants to start out with a whole new life.
You bet, Ronnie. This is a Georgetown 335 Class A gas motorhome. Full body paint, tons of storage throughout. You go inside this motorhome, you've got air conditioning, awnings, microwave, ovens, big beds, lots of amenities like an L-shaped sofa, and this one's even got a fireplace, Ronnie.
I saw it. Again, folks, fish your life across the country. Go down and see our friends at Mike Thompson's RV Superstores with Ronnie Kovach's Fishing Ventures.
Now here's more wiper wisdom from angler educator Ronnie Kovach.
Now, as far as the wipers go, that's a hybrid between a striped bass and a white bass, the panfish, and it actually is sterile. They don't reproduce. You could say that's the bad news. The good news is they have a voracious appetite. And there's so much threadfin shad on this lake that anything that looks like a shad, from like a rooster tail spinner to Yozuri crankbaits, these fish want to chase. The wipers are primarily a very early morning and occasionally late evening fish. They like to school on large balls of bait, and you'll see a lot of surface boils. But the trick to the wipers is to get on them early and fast. You can even troll for them with everything from spinners to crankbaits.
I didn't think they'd be that big.
Yeah, they're 12 pounds.
This one's close to lake record size right now.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm trying to lift this thing, Jim. I'm telling you.
I got to get a better,
I know.
better hang on him
Way
here.
bigger than that.
Better, bigger than our usual. That is a big wiper. Biggest one I've caught.
Now we have covered Lake Elsinore's Big Three, crappie, catfish, and wipers. It's time to talk about number 4 on the list, which is number 1 in the hearts of many anglers, Elsinore's largemouth bass. We will also have more on Elsinore's exciting recreational opportunities, along with video clips from the first ever Dream Extreme tournament and more big fish highlights. Here come the bass.
Lake Elsinore has a terrific population of largemouth bass, folks. And the nice thing about it is these fish year-round really situate themselves in only about 5 to 7 feet of water. It's not a real typical western United States deep water structure lake. Everything is pretty much shoreline, and they've got 14 miles of shoreline in this 3,200 acre to fish these largemouths. In that 5 to 7 foot strike zone, you're looking for basically a lot of submerged brush stick-ups, but there's also fence lines, there's boulders, there's old concrete from jetties that have been now submerged, and just a lot of pea gravel also. So you got, again, lots of shoreline to fish and lots of structure on that shoreline. Best techniques are spinner baits, crankbaits, plastic worms, and occasionally some top water. And during the colder months, these fish can be pitched and flipped with traditional pig and jig methods. But there's a lot of largemouth here. Again, the beauty of it is you don't have to fish deep, 5 to 7 feet year-round.
Stay tuned, it's largemouth and more at Lake Elsinore.
Nice.
Welcome back, you're watching Fishing Ventures, Lake Elsinore's Big Four and more.
As a special treat today, we've got a professional bass guide who happens to own his own Phoenix lure company, Robert Schneider. He's going to give you some real hot tips on how to fish spinner baits.
I picked this spot because we've got a lot of stick-ups, as you can see out there. And what I'm using today is a Phoenix chartreuse and white spinnerbait with the double willow blades. I like the gold-silver combination on those. And what we're trying to do here is mimic a small school of baitfish. That's the Lake Elsinore bass. We just caught that on a Phoenix Pro Line chartreuse and white spinnerbait.
Right on. Wow, nice. Good job.
Pat, just before the launch ramp was opened here, you guys put in 7,000 largemouth bass. Wow.
That's right. So that's an unusual stocking. Most people stock trout. We stock largemouth bass.
I like that.
They're the lion of fish, and that's what most fishermen in this area want to catch.
I love using the Yuzuri lipless crankbaits. They're an excellent fish finder. If I have to cover a lot of territory quickly, like we're doing here at Lake Elsinore in this Dream Extreme tournament, then this is my go-to bait. It replicates, mimics, and duplicates all the various threadfin shad actions in the lake, from being wounded to fleeing. It's a terrific lure, a great fish finder. Fish on! I got a fish on here. Wow, he just really clobbered that little Yuzuri lipless crankbait there. Look at that. That sashimi action, what it's doing is it has that bait looking like it's silver, and then green, and then orange. Beautiful. Isn't that great?
Just kind of take your time like we're...
All right, what's still going here? I'm on the small bass here. Good job, Mike. Pull that right up to the camera. Way up.
We're doing a different type of sight fishing today with William and Nick. And really what we're doing is we're sight fishing for the bait. We're looking for where the schools of bait are. This is what we're seeing with our Typhoon sunglasses.
I always tell you, when you come to Lake Elsinore, try any color in those shivertail worms you want, as long as it's some form of purple. That includes oxblood and black grape. That's your killer combination here at Lake Elsinore for largemouth bass.
I want her shaky head again.
Stay tuned. More highlights and scenes from the first ever Dream Extreme tournament. Welcome back. You're watching Fishing Ventures, Lake Elsinore's Big Four and more.
Right here.
I'll go in the morning. Keep away from the morning.
All right.
Good job.
All right, Roadrunner.
Roadrunner.
Nice.
There we go. Well, we're just about out of time, and the winners of the Mike Thompson RV contest had a nice day fishing with Ronnie and William. Along the shores of Lake Elsinore, you can find numerous boating, camping, and RV facilities. Looking for an RV? Travel trailers to motorhomes, Mike Thompson's RVs has you covered. We want to give a special thanks to the Lake Elsinore Casino and Hotel, who took care of our crew and sponsored the first ever Dream Extreme televised tournament, providing cash prizes, lodging, entertainment, and so much more. Lake Elsinore Casino and Hotel, where you can always bet on a good time. Now here are some highlights from the first ever Lake Elsinore Dream Extreme Bass Tournament. A multi-fish tournament that included all the big four: crappie, cats, wipers, and bass. All types of watercraft were welcome. A family-friendly event with big cash and great prizes.
Where to win it.
Take that Yuzuri vibe. Really nice.
It's been over a decade since Lake Elsinore began implementing long-term solutions, improving the lake water quality, its fishery, and local wildlife. This also includes new and improved recreational opportunities. There has never been a better time than now to visit Lake Elsinore and dream extreme.
Lake Elsinore, trust me folks, it really is not only an underrated, but it's potentially a world-class largemouth bass fishery.